What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome to another episode of Cinetober. Yes, guys, this is it. This is the last episode of Season 3. It's been one heck of a ride. I am so glad to finally get this season done. I've enjoyed doing the whole thing with Silent Hill. It's been one heck of a ride with the fog, Pyramid Head, my own personal hell, which, trust me, I've seen a lot. But as you can tell, this is the last episode, and as I promised, in the last episode, I will be talking about the movie Silent Hill. Now, I have already reviewed this movie once before, but I wanted to watch the movie again, and I wanted to get this at a different look. Not only just as a film, but as a game adaptation. So I am going to be talking about some things that are from the games and from the movies. And if you do not want to know what happens in either the game or the movie, I advise you guys to leave this video because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But for those who want to stay and are enjoying this season, I'm so glad to have you with me. Guys, we're going to get in some deep stuff with Silent Hill. So let's go. Alright, so the whole thing with this Silent Hill movie, it's kind of a pretty much a pretty good copy of the game. They just got some stuff different. The main character is a woman named Rose who has a daughter named Sharon who wakes up screaming Silent Hill. So her mother thinks, hey, you know what? She's screaming Silent Hill, so I'm going to take her to Silent Hill. When she takes her there, she discovers her car has crashed, and the police officer who was chasing her, Sybil, has crashed her bike. And so now it's up to her and Sybil to find out what is going on in the town of Silent Hill, while her husband, Chris, who is played by Sean Bean, is trying to discover what really happened on the outside of Silent Hill, coming across some of the characters from the games. Now, as a film, this movie does have some pretty intimidating stuff. It feels like you're in the world of Silent Hill with Rose waking up to the falling ash. You're in the world that's covered with fog. You feel isolated. You feel like you're really in the world of Silent Hill. This movie did a really good job with copying the feeling and just the loneliness and the dangers of Silent Hill, with the alarm going off for whenever the other world was coming. You felt like something bad was going to happen. Or with the creatures that Rose encounters. Even though some of the creatures are from another game and don't make sense, that's one of my things about this movie, is some of the creatures are good creatures, however, they do not fit with this thing. And the thing is, Silent Hill, you're going through your own personal hell. It creates creatures and enemies from your own personality. So in the first game, they were all representatives of Cheryl's mind. Not Sharon, Cheryl. Yes, they changed the names for some reason. I don't know why. They could have just had her named Cheryl. But whatever. But we do get creatures from Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 2, but it's more of creatures from Silent Hill 2. With Pyramid Head, which I understand he's there for fan service, but Pyramid Head is from Silent Hill 2, and he represents James Sunderland's mind from Silent Hill 2, and I'm not going to give anything about that away. Another creature from Silent Hill 2 is the nurses, and that also dealt with James Sunderland as well, and it had nothing to do with Cheryl. The nurses were in there, but they weren't sexualized. They were just nurses, just regular kind of demonic nurses. They weren't sexualized. So, I mean, like, you could say that they kind of were faithful with having at least the nurses there, but the fact that they were sexualized nurses, I kind of feel like that's kind of hit and miss. But this movie does feel like you're actually watching the game, because the first level of the game is the school. The first place that Rose goes to is the school. And they even throw some of the puzzle stuff in there, with Rose having to pick something out of a dead person's mouth, out of a stall. That made you feel like you were solving one of the creepy puzzles, and that's what Silent Hill is known for, is the creepy puzzles, the creepy atmosphere. The transfer to the other world is awesome. The siren, the darkness. This movie really does feel like someone knew what they were doing with Silent Hill, even though they kind of changed things up. With the main character going to hell and beyond to get her daughter back, just like Harry Mason did in the first Silent Hill game. Even though they changed Harry from a man to a woman, you feel like she earns the title of being the hero in this movie, whereas another character from another video game movie franchise, they just kind of say, okay, she's the hero. Whereas with this, slowly builds up to Rose becoming the hero. And this movie has a lot of other stuff from the games. It has the maps. It has the radio with like it making noises whenever there's a creature nearby. It has a lot of good and faithful stuff. It has the whole entire thing with Alessa and Cheryl being being the same person, but at the same time being split. It has that. It has the creepy cult, and that's another thing that they changed with the cult. The whole entire thing with the first cult in the Silent Hill game was that they were trying to give birth to a god, and Cheryl, who is Dahlia Gillespie's child, Dahlia Gillespie was trying to get her daughter to give birth to this god, so something bad happened to her, and she was kept alive for her whole entire life, miserable and ill and just in pain, constant pain and suffering, just so she could give birth to the cult's god. So they changed that, and they made the people of the town against the evil instead of for it, which is exactly what they are. They're for the evil in Silent Hill. They are all for the evil, not against it. And I wish that the main villain of the movie ended up becoming like the succubus, which is the final boss from the first game. Now, they got a lot of stuff right. They had the cult members. They had, like I said earlier, they had the sirens. They had just so much stuff in this movie that made you really feel like it was a good adaptation. And we don't really get that these days. Uwe Boll, eat me. But, like, it seemed like the people who took this movie, they knew what they were doing, and they shouldn't have moved some stuff around. If they would have just kept things the way that they were, I feel like we would have gotten a good adaptation of this movie. But, guys, this has been a good year of Cinetober, and I'm telling you, it's been tough encountering my own personal hell. But you know what? I did it, and I think pretty much, and with my YouTube fans, I can overcome anything. But I've got some things outside that's probably going to take me almost about a year to kill. And I have a feeling that I'm going to have to go somewhere much deeper than just Silent Hill. So guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, hit that like button. Next year, you guys are going to want to stick around, because we're going someplace deeper than Silent Hill. Guys, we're going to be venturing to a place I know and I call hell. Have a good night, guys, and enjoy Halloween.